We live already? Man. Henry McClure live. This goes out to, I think it was Andrew Graves' ex-wife. Andrew Gray, something like that. Anyway, somebody accused me of not being transparent. So, not to mention any names, let's just insert the name Henry McClure into this story, okay? So let's say Henry McClure owned this building right here. Henry McClure owns this building, and it's currently assessed by the county appraiser for $2.2 million. But Henry McClure got a special deal, and the real estate taxes are $3,500. And you know, nobody likes to give Henry McClure deals, but boy, he's had this deal for years. But he's having trouble making deals in this space, right? And time's marching on. And so Go Topeka has had a time struggling with an idea to do a buyer realty deal. All right? Well, they paid $1 million in rent to the Wolf Camera building, to no avail. And it turns out the BioRealty guy says, well, Molly Howie never lived up to her end of the deal. So let me try to explain this very slowly, because I want to tell you then how Henry McClure, the trouble with using my name is people will actually think it's me. So, because that's just the way some people are. So anyway, we'll start this over. The guy who owns this building, not to mention any names, and it's for sure not Henry McClure, the owner of this building is struggling figuring out what to do with it. He's got a special district set up. He's got industrial revenue bonds set up. So then, in a secret meeting of Go Topeka, that really the general public is not allowed to go to. And you also got to remember, over the last 25 years, I can't remember personally the Jetto board ever turning down a Go Topeka request, because you've got Rich Eckert, the illustrious county councilor. You've got Kevin Cook, who's a county commissioner. You've got the mayor, Mike Padilla. These guys are all on the board of Go Topeka, along with a whole list of other real powerful people. Oh, one of the funny things about this, when I originally was trying to make a core request to who actually owns it, it was very difficult to get through the LLCs and everything. So how to streamline my story, especially when you get accused of not making any sense. And sometimes I think it's out of pure frustration. But I tell you, the viewers also asked me to truncate my shows And sometimes I just think that people are equally as smart as me and follow along. But they come up with the idea to sign. Now, what's really important about this story right now at this very moment is the budget of Topeka is going to be discussed tonight at City Council. So when you think about a $3 million lease to go to Topeka, who's been notorious for just giving away money to charities, not-for-profits, and some people that are conspiracy people would say, well, they're doing that to make sure they look like good guys and they'd be in favor. Like, how could a guy like Henry McClure ever talk down Go Topeka? You know, they gave money. Look, anybody that could afford Forge's liquor bill. Anyway, putting Go Topeka into a lease, a non-government organization, to where they can just perpetually give away money, which is another thing I'd really like to dig into in my tenure as mayor. Like, what percentage of the people were members of the Chamber of Commerce, and what is the percentage of people that just keep getting donation after donation after donation just to subsidize the first donation in the first place? Okay, so I know this is dragging on a little bit, but here's where it really gets good, because the next payment is around $7 million, maybe closer to $8 million, into what we call tenant construction or a construction allowance. So this is money, this is sales tax money that is just put into this building for the benefit of the owner. So if you take the lease and then the construction allowance and you go down to the bank, you can just go borrow money on it. Then what's really cool about that is that loan is tax-free. So you don't have to pay income tax on borrowed money. So you immediately give yourself a payday for all the frustration you've had in dealing with Topeka, because I've seen this guy go downtown and say, you know, I'm not going to do anything here unless I start getting my way. Seen him do it. And I will tell you why I call people out by name. Because that proves to you I got the guts to do it. Was it fair? Was it fair that the citizens of Topeka paid about $8 million in bond payments on behalf of Jim Klossman out at Lawrence Bay? I say no, but people get in arms when I mention the guy who owns this building, who just enriched himself with sales tax dollars to the tune of $9.5 million. I don't care what good that guy has done. You know, so what happens to the Wizard of Oz when you just call me Toto? I pulled back the curtain and there he is, standing there. There he is. Right there. The wizard. I've got a copy of the lease, and I've got a copy of the contract, which I'll post later. I did all my homework on this thing. all the rights you've done in life, things like this are unforgivable. I noticed that one of the people accusing me of not being transparent, I know where you work. Look that up. Somebody said your ex-husband used to be a city councilman. So you know how politics works. You know how Topeka works. I don't care. It's nothing personal about the guy. It's the deal that stinks. It's the sales tax that should be going into infrastructure. But there's another infrastructure I want to talk about. And that's just the infrastructure of opportunity. Is that only created if you're a chamber member or have donated to Go Topeka? And that's what I'm fighting. In honor of Charlie Kirk, I pray for his help right now. Amen.